Okay. So it appears I'm on. Yeah, it says we're on, which is great. So I need to, I don't know, give you a link. I don't know where there's a link. There's a link. This is great. Um, you get to hear me type for a few seconds, which is even better. Like there's just, it's great. This is a great start. It's the Comey Show. It is, what is it? It's Thursday, November 2nd. It's the day after All Saints Day, if memory serves. This is not going to be a long show. I do not have that long. I'm going to turn this up because, in all honesty, I don't know how loud I am. I don't know how much you can hear me. So, I've turned it up a little bit. Um, yeah, anyway. You can tell I'm rusty. Like, this isn't any good. But it's what we have because nobody else. I mean, Brenton is drunk and too drunk to work a podcast, which is really bad. That's really drunk. But that's where he is. I've got about 15 minutes before I have to go to other commitments. I'll give myself about 18 minutes um, to try and give you Game 7 preview. So far, I mean, really, the Reds should have had this one. They should have won it last night, but they didn't. They didn't win it. And that's what we have. I hope I didn't just turn this off. Did I just turn this off? I might have just turned it off. I don't know. I don't think I did. I did. Oh, well, the stream is like not. Uh, it's not great right now. I guess. Oh, here we go. Let me see. No, apparently I'm still going. Um, viewers may be experiencing minor issues with this. All right. Anyway, I'm going to get back to talking and doing what I can here to provide you with a quality Game 7 preview, which we've already started that, huh? All right, so Game 7 tonight. The Reds should have won it last night. They didn't. They lost it 6-5. If I can go back, was that the walk off? That might have been the walk off. Um, Lance Ray's walk off. Let me just double check that. No, it was in the eighth. I'm sorry, it was in the eighth. Lance Ray hit a 3-run homer, and then George Springer hit a sac fly. Alternate reality George Springer was awesome. Just wanted to point that out. Our George Springer, he was pretty fantastic as well last night, hitting the game winning sacrifice fly that scored Michael Perez. So series is tied, 3 apiece. The game is in Minnesota tonight. It's going to be Matthew Spalding against Masarubo Machizuki. Neither one has been very good in the postseason. Spalding 1-1 with a 6.05 ERA in this series. What is he? He was okay actually in this series. No record, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed. I think he started game 2. Gave up 1 homer, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Or no, I'm sorry. That was Martin Perez. He walked 1, struck out 3. 1.80 ERA. Machizuki, also no record. 6 hits in 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3.60 ERA. They are your Game 7 starters. If I have to admit, in Minnesota, Spalding has flirted all year with this fly ball tendency. And the knock on him earlier in the year was that he would give up too many home runs, and he gave up 22 over the year. Um, he did strike out 175 with a 1.11 whip. He got his thing together he's also given up, well, only 2 home runs in his last 7 out or last 5 outings. Both of them came back on the 22nd against the Braves in a 8-5 loss. He got tagged pretty hard in that game. Um, I I don't know if I like the matchup given the amount of fly ball hitters that the Minnesota Twins have. Now they've pitched around Gary Copeland all series. Copeland bringing him up. Where is he? He is in the postseason, or I'm sorry, in this series, he is 5 for 18, but with a 5.19 on base percentage. I'm looking more at guys like Lance Ray. I'm looking at guys like Miguel Sano, Daniel Fields. Both Ray and Fields have 2 home runs each. Sano has a home run. Danny Espinosa, very capable of taking the ball deep. Teika Sataki, also capable of hitting the ball deep. George Springer, capable of hitting the ball deep. Josh Felge, capable of hitting the ball deep. Okay, I think I just got the chat. All right, so if Spalding is succeed, he's got to keep the ball on the ground. The question is, can he do it? Can he also keep from having line drives hit against him? I mean, this is a big spot. This is a kid who was considered to be a bust going into this year. Now, yeah, he had his breakout year at 14.8315. He had his breakout season, but this is a different plane than anything in the regular season. By the same token, the same thing could be said about Machizuki. He was brought over from Houston, where he was good. He was better in Minnesota. Even though the numbers, the outlying numbers aren't really, give 7 homers in 63 innings. He struck out 52, 1.29 whip, 2.84 ERA. I mean, he was good, but he was backed by a good offense too. So the question here is, how much do they think they can get out of these guys effectively before they give up to the bullpen? Will the Reds go to Chris Sale? I think Chris Sale might be the first guy out of the bullpen. I do. I think he could be the first one. He won Game 5, pitched a beauty. The only guys that really aren't available will be last night's starters. Whoever they were. In all honesty, I can't even... Here we go. Who started last night? Last night's starters, Justin Masterson, Dylan Betances. Honestly, you don't really want either one pitching in this game. Betances, I guess you would. Masterson, he can watch it from the dugout. I think Sale and Kavai Sampson might have big roles in this game. In all honesty, if you get 5 out of Spalding, you get 5 out of Machizuki, you've done your part. If you're those two guys, you've done your part. I think we're going to see Sale. I think we're going to see Sampson. I think the lack of a closer, of somebody who has solid closing experience, really hurts the Reds in this game. It hurt them last night. It hurt them by not having Joel Hannaran. Hannaran. Really hurt them not having him. Mark Resipinski has not been closer material. Not having their full staff really hurts. They're out 3 key pitchers on their staff. The fact that they're here is pretty amazing. The fact that they're in the 7th game is, not amazing. They've obviously been the best team in the National League. And they've beat everybody in front of them. I'm not going to say the Twins are the best in the AL. I think they're the best right now. They obviously have earned it, but they don't have the pitching that the top shelf pitching that the Reds have, but they have a better bullpen. Specifically, Kenneth McDowell. Um, Collimenter can come in. They have Chance Ruffin, who was freaking phenomenal this year. 43 hits in 75 innings, 94 strikeouts, 24 walks, a whip under one. I I know this is so disjointed because this is such a stream of consciousness. I really didn't want to pick a winner here because this has been a good series. It's been a very good series. There's only been one true blowout, that being game 4. But if this game, the later this game gets, if the closer it is, the more I like Minnesota's chances because of the bullpen that they have over what Cincinnati has. Now, I haven't talked anything about Cincinnati's lineup, which has been absolutely amazing all season long. And they've clubbed against the Twins. What do they have? 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 home runs in this series. Augusto Garcia, who, if the Reds win, he has a very strong case for MVP. I think it would go to Chris Sale, but I don't think you can overlook what Garcia is doing. I don't think you can overlook what Dustin Pedroia has done and into this lineup, although his OVP has kind of sucked. This has been an all-or-nothing lineup for the Reds. This has been very much centered around home runs, hitting the ball far, not so much getting guys on base and manufacturing runs. But they have guys that are aggressive at the plate. That's the one thing that works against Gary Copeland. Is he takes too many pitches. I talked about that earlier this year, talking with Joe Simpson. That Gary Copeland takes too many pitches. He walks too much. I mean, he's hitting 278 with that. Yes, he has a .519 on base percentage. He's a run producer. He's supposed to create runs with his bat. Tonight, he has to be aggressive. We know Miguel Sano is going to be aggressive. Gary Copeland has to be aggressive at the plate. He has to go hit. Granted, the Reds have not given him much to hit at, the swing at. But he's got such a keen awareness of the strike zone. He's got to identify when a pitch comes that he's got to go with it. I'll go out on a limb. If he walks 3 times, I like Cincinnati's chances more. Even with their bullpen stuff, if he walks 3 times, I like Cincinnati's chances more because he's their most consistent weapon in the lineup. Lance Ray, who hit the 3-run bomb last night, he's 4 for 24 in the series. Sano's hitting the ball well. Daniel Fields is hitting the ball well. He's got 10 hits in the series. Nobody else in their lineup really scares you. It's Copeland, Sano, and right now Fields. Everybody in Cincinnati's lineup is aggressive. Looking at the walks, let's see, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13 walks in 6 games for Cincinnati hitters. 13 walks in 6 games. Meanwhile, Minnesota, what have they done? 11, 14, 16, 19, 20, 21, 27, 29. Cincinnati's not going to get cheated at the plate. Minnesota might let too many chances go past them. Now, again, I like Minnesota's bullpen if the game stays close late. If the Reds get to Machizuki early, this might be something where the Twins start pressing. Um, you go with Samson early again. If you're just joining, you'll hear it later. This was a absolute horrible start. Um, I would expect Chris Sale and Gavai Sampson to be first out of the bullpen. All hands on deck except Justin Masterson, who's going to watch it from a hotel room, um, and Dylan Betances. But if the Twins can get to Ruffin and McDowell with a lead, I think it's over. The Reds, despite their bullpen issues, and they have them, it was on full display last night. But the Reds have the advantage in their approach to the plate. So, what's it going to be? Is Spalding going to keep the ball in the park? This is Copeland's type of pitcher too. This is somebody who gives up fly balls. This is Miguel Sano's type of pitcher. Now, if I can go back to game 2, which I will do, of course, it's going to take a few seconds here because I got to figure out what date that was. Let's see. Game 2 right here was a 5. No, that was. Oh, it was game 3, I guess. That those two started. Am I correct on that? Yeah, okay. So, let's see. Spalding faced 21 batters. He got 8 ground ball outs in that game. 3 fly ball outs. That's an outlier to me. I think that's gonna hold weight. He went 5 innings, gave the 5 hits. He struck out 3. And it was a 5-3 game, but the Twins didn't do damage till after he left. Again, that's the bullpen. Let's see. What did Sano and Copeland do? Copeland was 2 for 4 with a walk, of course. Sano was 1 for 5. He left 3 on base. Daniel Fields was 2 for 4. Ray was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Martin Lopez 2 for 4. In an all hands on deck game like this, especially with the DH, you favor Cincinnati on offense over Minnesota in this game, but again, you favor Minnesota's depth with their with their overall pitching staff. And so if Cincinnati gets out in front early, the longer they're able to keep Spalding out there, the more they can get out of Chris Sale tonight. And Chris Sale, I think, has to pitch tonight. You can get an inning or two maybe out of Darren Gorski. You want to limit Rapinski's whatever is that Resipinski what Zinski. You want to limit what is required of him to close this down. Yes, he's a professional pitcher. He's not a closer. Before this season, yeah, he saved 44 games last year. You know what he did this year? After saving 44 games in Toronto, he went back to the setup role. You know how many saves he had before that? 5, 6, 9. He had 9 saves over 4 years and then busts out 44, yes, for a Toronto team that won the division, and he went back to the setup role. What do you think that says? Let me see if I can find postseason stats. 2016. He was good. So far this offseason, or this postseason, he's been good. This is game 7. You want your horses in this game. I guess it's Zapinski. I don't know, Resipinski? Whatever. He hasn't pitched in 3 days. He's rested. I'd still want the ball in the hands of Spalding than Sale, and you ride him as long as you can. The same with Minnesota with Machizuki, and then Sampson, and then you can turn it over to guys like Font and Ruffin and McDowell and Glenn Perkins. You could turn it to those guys. Cincinnati's got the two. So now that I've talked in circles, because I had no notes, because I didn't expect to do this, but I did it because the Seattle crowd, I get good ratings in Seattle. They really wanted a show. And unfortunately, I need to end it. So, who am I going to pick tonight? I gotta be honest, I want to pick Cincinnati because of how aggressive their offense has been. But I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota because it's at home. And because they have the guys in the bullpen, they have more depth in their staff. And to be honest, again, I think this is the type of pitcher. Granted, he was great in Game 3. But this is the type of pitcher that Minnesota hitters should love to hit. In Matthew Spalding, they should love to hit him. And maybe they'll figure out that that's the case tonight. If Spalding has a great performance, I mean, he deserves it. He's had a great year. He's become more than I think anybody envisioned. I know he's become more than what Cincinnati had hoped. There were trade rumors about him all last offseason and for a good portion of this year, for the first 2 months. He was, there was a possibility that he was almost traded like 2 or 3 times. And he finally turned it around. He put it together, and he's had a great year. This is still Game 7. And he's still facing a lineup that is very dangerous, has the best hitter in the game. And if he challenges them, I don't like his chances. Give me Minnesota. I'm going to say 7-6. I think it's going to be that close. Minnesota 7-6. And that's where we are. And I need to go. I have obligations. So, for the 4 of you, actually 4. I was going to make a joke that there were 4 listening. No, there's 4 actually listening. I can't even make a joke about that. That's a fact. Although I might be one of the 4. I'm not sure about that. I could be half of, or one. Nope, now they're down to 3. I just lost somebody. I guess I'll just end it there. All right. This has been the Comey Show. I might be able to pull something together tomorrow as like a season recap. I do have some other things that I want to do, but they require more time, and time is always, the biggest burden for me. So we'll see what I can do. All right. I hope everybody enjoys tonight's game. I hope to catch it when I get home, and that's it. All right. Go baseball.